So Outlast 2, the most highly anticipated game of 2017. Well, I mean, judging by how it is compared to Outlast 1, was it really that good? Well, let's hop into it. So, the game is quite basic when it first starts, like any other game, but with Outlast, right after a cutscene plays, it just creeps you out with this school. Once the school segment is done, the game puts you into this place where there's a helicopter door on you and you have to spam square to get it off you. Now, the thing is that instead of in Outlast 1 where Miles couldn't talk at all, Blake actually has a lot of voice lines in the entire game, and it gets to know you more about the character and makes you like them more. In Outlast 2, you can't really take breaks. I mean, maybe for a minute, but definitely not 2, because throughout the entire thing, you turn a corner or anything, an enemy will definitely be there. And if you do have a break, you're probably in the school suffering with psychological horror. Let's dig deeper into the psychological horror. It tells an entire story behind it, so it's quite interesting, and after piecing it together, it really makes you think. And, I mean, besides, you also get to know more about the protagonist, which I said 2 seconds ago. Even if you've played through the game, going back to the psychological parts, you might see shadows that you never did before, and it's still scary because what if something changed? What if you did something before that never triggered something? It just makes it way more scarier. Back in the real world of Outlast 2, you're either getting chased or downright just getting disgusted of some of the scenes that they just show you. In the psychological horror in the school, it actually makes you scared and creeped out, and that's kind of what a horror game is. But if it's just chase, run, oh, I gotta put a battery in my camera, it eventually gets boring. In almost every segment of the game, there's always a little bit of the story being added onto every second, which makes the game really interesting, and it makes you really intrigued and want to play more. And sometimes the chases really do give you adrenaline, and if you like getting scared, this game is perfect for you. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is that this game does rely on jump scares a lot. And I mean a lot. Like half the time you get scared, it's just because of the jump scares. The only time that you get scared besides of a jump scare is when you're doing the school with the psychological horror, because sometimes there'll be shadows that run by, and the creepy part about it is that sometimes it screws with your mind and you don't know if that was in the game or it was just in your mind. And that's why I think the school is just one of the best parts. It legitimately made me sick, and I never really wanted to go into the school, but it just got better and better, and I also got scarier and scarier. And that's why I think the school just highlighted this game more than what they did with just the chase in the real world. Those were my thoughts on Outlast 2. In the end, I'd say the game is a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, 8 out of 10, I'd say. It still gives you the heebie-jeebies, and it's still fun to play. Some parts can be frustrating, and sometimes you get scared by a cheap jump scare, but in the end, I feel like you should just downright buy it and play it, record it for reactions, and just try it out. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope I didn't trigger anybody with anything I said. This is all just my opinion, and I'm sorry that you just listened to a squeaker tell you about Outlast 2. Goodbye.